Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. You're welcome to Trends in the Papers. This is the part where we get to talk about trending stories from the front pages of our dailies. Now, we have our papers here with us already. We have Vanguard, The Nation, The Punch, and The Guardian newspaper. And I'm not alone in the studio this morning. Fuhad Sahid is already with me this morning. Good morning, Fuhad.
Yeah, good morning, Sandra.
So information reaching me is that, Nigeria at this time now, we are not in a good mood. A lot happened in the sporting world over the weekend. And I was listening to the sports update this morning, and I was like, why so many things all at once? What did we do? Who did we offend? What exactly happened? What are your thoughts? Anthony Joshua lost his, the
rematch.
The rematch.
To claim his belt,
Abraham Adesanya,
Kamaru Usman,
sorry.
In the UFC also lost his belt.
The Falconets also lost
2-0. So
everything over the weekend.
Well, it happens.
it happens, yes, but I was listening to it this morning. I didn't know that was what happened over the weekend, but I was listening to the sports update this morning, and I heard all about it, and I just felt like that was just too much. It was too much for us to handle at this time. We were just coming up and celebrating the fact that Nigeria did good
well at the Commonwealth.
And then we were really going strong, but then
and the Falconets had won 3 matches in a row at the group stages, so one was thinking that they were going to
keep the momentum,
at least get to the finals, which they've got into maybe I think twice, but then it is sports, it is football, it is combat sports. Things can happen.
Well, I don't know if I should say unfortunate, but I was just hoping that the sporting world will keep giving us some sort of good news. But still in the sporting world, we also had information that the president will be hosting the Commonwealth athletes on the 15th of September 2022. Good morning, Adeyemi Saka.
Good morning, Sandra.
How are you doing?
Fantastic, are you?
I'm okay. So we were just talking about the sporting world and what a disappointment Nigeria had to face over the weekend.
Well, if Nigerians are true to themselves, Nigerians have been used to such things. 2015 to date, or 20 whatever to date, we are used to the disappointment.
But don't be pessimistic. It's too early in the week for you to do that, Demi. I'm just saying that how everybody was like, oh, we have 12 gold, we have 9 silver, we have this bronze, and we're really looking forward to Anthony Joshua, going out there and doing something really awesome. And then he lost, and then Kamaru also, and even the Falconets. But like you said, I'm disappointed. I wasn't expecting it. It hurts.
No, something needs to bring us back to reality, because if those guys have if that thing had continued, we would have forgotten that we are humans and we have a lot of things to fix. Even in our sport, it's so rotten that we need to fix our sport. I mean, it's not just about football, boxing, athletics. Female basketball team have been hacked. Well, at the point the AFN was going to do this with the Minister of Sport, the sponsorship, the other sponsorship thing. So if individual efforts like this, keeps coming, we will not be,
truthful to ourselves. That all is
with
well.
ourselves, that we have a lot of things to do. So these are reality checks for us, and for me, I'm happy.
You'll be happy. He said he's happy. Now we know our enemies. All right, but good morning, Adeyemi. Thank you for joining us via the phone line.
Good morning.
It's okay. And say good morning to Fuad.
Fuad. Okay, good morning, Fuad. Again.
Good morning.
Yes, it's very important. All right. You can actually watch us. I don't know if we're live right now. Okay, so we're live right now on Facebook and YouTube at Mainland 98.3 FM, at Mainland 98.3 FM on Facebook and YouTube. We have Adeyemi Saka joining us via the phone line. All right, so let's dig into the papers, shall we? Let's just go straight into it. Oh, and my name is Omobola Sandra.
You've not changed it.
It has not changed. All right, so we'll start with the Guardian newspaper, and the major headline there: stranded fund. Foreign airlines withdrawal to cost Nigeria $1.36 billion. So as it is now, let me take the riders to that. We have air transport in death throes as more carriers consider exit. Over $464 million stock fund. And then you have hurdles for Air Peace, SAA, South Africa Airlines. South Africa restrains visa to Nigerian travelers. And then we also have stakeholders warn of losing Nigerian market to neighboring countries. Seek caution, engagement with operators. So as it is now, these people may actually be following through with their threats of actually pulling out, and
which is justified.
Yeah, but them pulling out, do you know what that would mean for the aviation sector?
I said it the last time, that as a country we think we have forex issues, and the only solution is to withhold the funds that belong to people who have done legitimate business, their legitimate entitlement. Whereas sources of forex that naturally shouldn't be a problem to us as a nation, we refuse to do the right things. Crude up till now, the report is still stolen. We can't find solutions to stolen crude. Even some of the monies we make, the remittances and the books are not looking good. We can't completely say these are the remittances that we have. The CBN is saying one thing, NNPC is saying another thing. We can't really say this is what the situation is. Our subsidy regime is still fraught with a lot of corruption.
As it is now, it is here now, if these people actually leave, let's not forget
they'll go to neighboring countries. So it means that if you want to travel,
that's another thing. So if they actually leave, that means that people who are traveling international air flights will have to go for connecting air flights in another country.
That's it, yeah.
And that will just weaken, the naira the more.
Sandra, you are speaking English.
Okay.
How do you get to those other neighboring countries to connect the flights? Because even Nigeria to Togo, Nigeria to Ghana is an international flight. So you have to go by road.
Okay, yes, but even if they have to, they still have to pay in foreign currencies. Well, if these airlines demand that even the money that is stuck, that is somewhere that is not being released.
Why is it stuck?
Yes, it's stuck somewhere. It's not being released to them. $464 million. Even if it is released to them, and then they demand that you must pay us in dollars, that would also further weaken the naira.
Now, let me say this. I have a bit of knowledge about air travel because my mom was in the sector for a very long time. Before now, the exchange rates in the aviation sector is even different from the exchange rates in the black market or the bank or the official rate. They have their own rates. This government came with a policy that was removed. It's now the same rate they obtain in the open market that they use in the airline sector. That is one. Part two is the threat to withdraw, or the withdrawal of international airline is phase 2 because there's phase 1. Emirates has suspended its operations in Nigeria.
Even our own solo international carrier, Air Peace, has also withdrawn Lagos Johannesburg routes
because of some of these issues. Yeah.
Because of some of these issues.
And now the question is this: and this government will wake up tomorrow, and they'll keep telling there's something called ease of doing business. How do you get foreign direct investments when an investor is not so sure of repatriating his return on investment because of your archaic, primitive, monolithic monetary policy? You see, Nigeria will move 10 steps forward on paper and 2,000 steps backward in real life.
All right. Well, just for those of us who are new to this particular story, is the issue that the foreign airlines are having is the fact that there's an inability to repatriate foreign exchange equivalents for flight tickets that have already been sold in naira. So they've sold it in naira and they want to get it in their current in foreign exchange, but it's stuck somewhere. The federal government policies and all that making things difficult. So that's the issue that's on ground, and as it is now, Fuad had said majorly the elites, but then it will still trickle down to the economy.
Sandra, thanks about it. Even ordering the dollars now, the forex.
Yes.
We even think about the increase in the rate in the value of dollar.
That's what we're saying, to weaken the naira even the more.
To weaken the naira the more,
because demand is currently outweighing supply as it is now. So that's where we are going. But more details of this story on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. Let's keep moving now. We also have 2 days to 5G rollout. MTN claims readiness. Mafab targets January 2023. And that's also on page 6 of the Guardian. Still on the front page, we have $418.9 million Paris Club refund. Governors charge AGF and Minister of Justice. Consultants to await appeal court verdict. That's on page 3. So there's still the back and forth between the governors and the accountant.
AGF,
sorry.
It's not you see, you're mixing it up because you wondering what's it doing with this. Yeah.
The Minister of Justice, what is his own with refund?
No, it was the one that brought about the consultancy deal that to facilitate the private club. I don't know why we needed a consultant.
So we're paying consultants.
I don't know. And we are paying them as in.
Oh, it's unfortunate. Well, more details on page 3.
And we asked last week, why is he so well? Since he was the one that facilitated the consultant, the reason is clamoring that they must be paid. But again, just the same question we ask ourselves.
Leaving office soon? I don't know.
I don't know. The thing is this: we are quick to withhold funds that some people work legitimately for. There's a refund. And you need to ask yourself, why is he so invested in ensuring that the consultants are paid now?
In dollars.
In dollars too.
All right, let's keep moving. 2023 elections will be transmitted electronically. INEC clarifies.
Yeah.
Please, let's come back to this much later on,
right.
Because I heard a totally different thing yesterday on Political Roundtable, and I know that there's a circular as regards that.
Press release.
There's a press release. Okay, so and now we have on the front page of the Guardian newspaper with more details on page 3. Yes, it is there. There's more details on page 3. 2023 election results will be transmitted electronically. INEC clarifies. We'll come back to that. Just stay with us into Milan Focus. All right, now we also have Igbo Day. Ohaneze denies inviting Obi, Tinubu, Atiku. That's on page 7.
Yeah, it's okay.
Why are we hearing this though?
I don't know. Maybe to just
for people agenda setting.
I'm curious as to why this is
making the news.
On the
well, maybe somebody has said they've invited them and speak to just prove or show that it's widely the endorsement.
Maybe
to claim endorsement,
or maybe to just say that they are non-partisan and it's not a political thing.
Okay.
So to disassociate themselves with any politician or a political party.
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's all right. More details on page 7 of the Guardian. We also have monkeypox infections, death soar. Cuba, Indonesia record index cases, and that's on page 14 of the Guardian. And finally, from the Guardian newspaper, this is going to be interesting. I have on page 16, but on the front page, impeach Buhari for gross incompetence. So I want to know where where
are we saying that?
Yes, where the information, where that is coming from. All right. Okay, it's an editorial.
Editorial of the Guardian.
Yes, of the Guardian newspaper. All right, and that's on page 16 of the Guardian, and that's all we have from the Guardian newspaper. Let's keep moving now. We'll move on to the Nation newspaper. All right, you're listening to Trends in the Papers on Mainland 98.3 FM. Don't forget that we're live on YouTube and Facebook at Mainland 98.3 FM. All right, the front page of the Nation newspaper looks interesting today. The major headline there: electronic transmission of results stays, says INEC. No manual system next year. And
that's like
CSOs demand compliance with Electoral Act. All right, and that's what we have on the front page.
The entire system can be electronic, Sandra, and
you're still sticking with that then?
No. It's we discussed it yesterday on Political Roundtable. It's just about information management. Whether we like it or not, the entire process of the elections is very.
It's not electronic.
What, sorry?
It's not fully electronic.
It's not fully electronic because, Sandra, the first electronic part of the election process is the BVAS, which is verification of voters at a polling unit. Okay. But when it comes to voting proper, you still have to get a voting paper. You still have to thumb print, drop it in the box. It will be counted manually.
Transmission.
I'm coming. Okay. You see, when you talk about transmission,
okay,
now,
I'm with you.
When you talk about transmission, one would assume that, for example, as you are voting, the thing is being counted and transmitted electronically.
That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying.
No,
here.
That's not what's going to happen.
Hold on. That's what they're saying. That there's the IREV. That's INEC Result Viewing Portal.
Somebody will still have to input the figures
in real time.
Somebody will still have to input the figures.
What you're saying is that this comes to naught as long as we are still thumb printing.
We are going to thumb print.
It's all right.
We are going to drop it in the ballot box.
We'll come back.
The counting process and collation will still be manual.
It's
it is the transmission which somebody would input that is electronic. So what's the big deal?
It's okay.
Okay, all right.
It's okay.
Unless the ME is Abby. No
comment. I'm another statement.
More details on page 4.
That was the thing when there was all through the weekend we had a lot of. Okay, all right.
It's okay.
You don't want to vote.
I don't. You know what, Fuhad, for the past 2 weeks, your blood has been very hot. And I'm like...
I will tell you, it's the 6 trillion naira subsidy payment that is wrong with Fuhad. I don't know bad news.
So is that what is carrying over into transmission?
No. Yeah. It's a family man.
It's all right. Thank you very much. Fuhad.
The now red naira bread is 9,000 naira. I'm sure you know.
I don't know. I don't eat bread. I don't buy family bread.
I'm just telling you.
I don't buy family.
900 naira to 1,000 naira.
I
think 1,050 naira now.
It's 1,050 naira actually.
Okay.
No, I feel like it's to buy for 1,000 2 days ago.
Yeah.
You are eating bread, Amy. I'm not. We are not on the same level.
Yes, now.
Sorry. I guess I'm on my own. No. All right. More details of the front major headline on page 4 of the Nation newspaper.
We'll come back to that, right?
Yes, okay. We're coming back. It's okay, Fuad. We'll come back. So you can express yourself and say that which is on your mind. And I will play back yesterday's conversation from political roundtable for our listeners. All right, let's move on now. We have why inflation won't drop now. So economists have advised Nigerians to brace for higher inflation in the coming months. They said that political spending as preparations for the 2023 general elections heightens is worsening the exchange rate, and other factors would keep inflation high. And as they predicted that, would keep the inflation high. And this is coming from various experts. We have Ken Ife, Bolade Idakolo, and Uche Waleke are also warning that an exchange rate increase would not bring down the inflation rate, which currently stands at 19.64%. That's scary, but it's true. That is the inflation rate that Nigeria is on. All right, and other factors that will that will affect the inflation are high transport cost, galloping prices of farm gates or food sub-basket index, now over 22%, political spending, high speculation on the value of naira.
Political spending, critical at this time,
Demand pressure on our farm produce from surrounding francophone countries. All right, so there's a whole lot of reports on that one from experts. You can get more details on page 8. And I don't know why you singled out political spending, out of all the factors that
because it may be a factor that we won't pay too much attention to, but it's a very critical factor. I think part of political roundtable yesterday was talking about spending limits.
INEC spending limits,
which we all agreed was a huge joke. Yeah, if we look at it, if for example,
is the 5 million naira for me?
No, the 5 billion naira that according to Electoral Act that a presidential candidate shouldn't spend more than 5 billion naira on elections, and I think we all agree that it was a huge joke.
I think some months ago, DME mentioned that if any politician that cannot
presidential candidate
that not even that cannot watch 200 million naira being burnt, right in front of him and not move,
filter it away.
Not move, that person is not ready He's not ready for politics. All right, well,
but that's the truth now.
I know you say something. I've heard you. It's okay.
Okay.
200 million naira just feels like it.
Yes.
If you're not
not retire. You don't feel like I can still trace it. You just burn it and watch it without flinching.
If somebody burns 5,000 naira in front of me, I'll cry.
No, as a politician, you're not a politician, so.
I'm just saying, as a humble citizen that I am.
Okay.
I'm just saying. All right.
But the 5 billion is a joke. It's a huge joke.
But invariably, if you cannot imagine yourself wasting 200 million naira.
All right. More details of the inflation reports from experts on page 8 of the Nation newspaper. We also have civil society to mobilize against ASU. That's on page 2. That's another interesting story that happened over the weekend. You know, SANU and NASU, that's Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities, and NASU. I'm trying to remember what.
There are too many SUs.
NASU, non-academic staff.
Non-academic. Thank you. All right, you have those. They are saying that they are going to take a break.
On the strike, yeah.
Yes, on the strike, and then they'll go back to work, and I think that's important because it's delaying transcripts, it's delaying
a whole lot of
people from going for their youth service course. So I think that one, at least people should be released from
the
bondage that they are in. All right, more details of this particular story. Civil society to mobilize against ASU. That's on page 2 of the Nation.
Civil societies were not demanding for government to honor its agreement or do the right thing.
I'm sure if you go into the detail of that story, you'll notice that these are probably some civil societies that you don't even know.
Now, when civil society now wants to now demonstrate against the government, you now see massive clampdown by security agents.
Well, as it is now, 2 civil society organizations.
Give us their names.
The Nigerian Project Initiative and the Initiative to Save Democracy.
You see? Are they societies that you are used to?
They are societies.
You understand where I'm coming from?
No, he doesn't.
We need Nigeria this service. Please, Sandra, and I want to challenge everybody, the listeners and you and I here. After this program or while it's going on, let us search for this organization. Let's search for them on CSP portal if they are duly registered.
It's all right.
To protest against ASU.
It's too well as it is now. The 2.
We will just sit down in one kiosk, come up with a name,
issue a press statement, and then the press will help them ventilate it, and then it becomes news.
Okay.
And then you want us to take us seriously?
And you have
we need to check CSP portal for the registration status of this organization.
We are currently ventilating it. Thank you very much. More details on.
But it was good that we read out their names. Huh?
MPI and
IPI.
IPI.
ISD. Initiative to Save Democracy.
And then they are going to protest against us, right?
Yes.
Not against the government.
For demanding for their 6 month salary. For that 6 months period of,
they should protest.
The strike.
They are on their own.
It's all right. They are on page 2 if you want more details.
on the Nation newspaper.
Of the Nation. Reps take MPA probe to London.
Okay.
Forgive me. Why are you shouting? I don't understand. What happened?
So they have to go to London to verify some things and make
sometimes they will
spend money. They will stay in hotel.
The House of
Oversight function.
Let's get the details.
The House of Representatives Committee on Public Accounts has taken its investigation into the financial records of Nigeria Ports Authority to the London office of the authority.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So the Public Accounts Committee is investigating non-remittance of accruing revenue. We discussed.
Well, last week we were asking DME.
They made 172 billion,
and they remitted I think 78 billion,
and they remitted 78.
But what's the role of TSA now, the Treasury Single Account?
Is that the one you are bothered about? Adisa Bala, that there was a committee that indicted her. Where is she now?
And she was just given a soft landing. She left and nothing.
She's on the campaign team of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu for APC.
But she was actually indicted, I think, by a committee set up by the Minister of Transport, Amechi.
So why do you think I should not take anything serious on this administration?
Because you need to ask yourself, the remittances, I'm still asking, the TSA was supposed to be a payment platform that has a linear payment system for the country. Everything goes into that account.
Until you understand that government policies is not for it's just to punish Nigerians and private business owners. You want to do any business with any government, even universities, the TSA will be your box like your problem. But the TSA is not a problem when it comes to the instance of NNPT, NPA, FIRS.
Are we saying these parastatals and agencies collect monies on behalf of government, not using the TSA? Are there different payment systems used by these agencies and parastatals of government? Because that's the reason the TSA was supposed to checkmate the ideas of collection and remittance.
Leakages. Let's use their words.
Leakages. While I share your curiosity, I'm going to wrap this particular topic up. Thank you very much, gentlemen, because as it is now, while in London, members of this committee are expected to visit some property belonging to MPA, as well as
I said it.
As well as probe other dealings by the authority while in London. All right, so more details of that.
Sandra, please, before you go, please, a quick one. If it will show you how people are wasteful, even when it comes to even use of their brains, can't you just write Metropolitan Police and Scotland Yard to do the investigation and send it down to you?
Seeing is believing.
I'm even wondering why they have to go to the UK to...
Seeing is believing.
What are they going to see? What they simply said is that they want to check the books of the MP office in the UK.
Can't they get an audit firm to do it?
All you need is that whoever is the officer in charge there, tell you, we need this property information, send it to us, or probably just bring it to the country.
All right,
you will just get an international auditing firm and get Scotland Yard,
I'm sure the report will not tell the number of ROC members that will visit. They may be up to 15 or 20.
More details on page 2
you know what it takes
of the Nation newspaper. All right, I don't know. Maybe do you want to go to London?
I don't want to go.
Let me tell you, Sandra. You can see that is the end of that probe.
DME, we can send journalists.
And DME, don't be surprised that while in the UK, the MPA will take care of them. The MPA
that is it now, and because that's the end of the probe.
When you are investigating a body that is taking care of you, putting you in hotel.
They are going
where?
It's the office of the auditor general
that will do what?
That is, doing the probing.
So the MPA will not be involved in it anyway.
Welfare.
Okay.
Resident doctors serve 2-week ultimatum over welfare. That's on page 2 of.
Somebody, I saw a joke somewhere that with the way our doctors are living and they're going on strike, we end up with the likes of these allowed both citizens or small doctor or Dr. C.
Not even the medical sector, the health sector. Nurses
the health
are leaving.
Sector generally.
The doctors are leaving. What about the IT?
It's the IT that is even
scary. The IT sector is, that.
You people are even speaking English. Even the unskilled sector,
drivers, mechanics, plumbers, bricklayers are leaving. And nobody.
You see, I think that's something that we actually need to look into. Is the Jackpot bug? I think it's something that is very, very,
everybody's leaving.
Yeah, irrespective. People feel that it's just the professionals that are leaving. But I was on the website yesterday and I saw that even truck drivers. There's a country that's in need of truck drivers.
And people are leaving. Seriously.
Imagine that, and they're even willing to process your visa relocation visa
permits
processing
and all of that,
they are willing to do it for you. All you have to do is be willing
I have a friend
to move. So
he had an hospital in Nigeria. Hospital, not that I was working there, he owns it. He sold it to go work in UK as a medical doctor.
All right, let's also not forget that it was also in the news that one bank manager that 2 million or so a month, he sold his house, sold everything, took his wife, his 2 children, and he's now, I don't know,
it's all about the social security
over there
and the sanity in the society.
It's all
the
right.
working system.
But let's not shift away from the focus, which is resident doctors serve 2-week ultimatum over welfare. So that's coming from Nigeria Association of Resident Doctors and state governments, to the federal government and state government to press home the demands of its.
And it will still have enough doctors.
It's all right. More details on page 2 of The Nation. Now, above the masthead of The Nation newspaper, we have PDP crisis. Wike insists on IU's sack, makes concessions. That's on page 8. Fuad, you have made a solemn vow. Let's that you're not going to say anything.
They make comments.
As regards
me, I'm not talking about Wiki.
It's all right. Okay, but more details on page 8 of the Nation newspaper. Okay, APC campaign. Kiyamo Alake Ononuga to lead media directorate. That's on page 4 of the Nation newspaper.
It's good to see Mr. Alake back. He's been quiet for some time, yeah. So Dele Alake was the former commissioner for information, I think, in Lagos State.
Okay.
So I think it's nice to see how he's going to help the campaign trail of Ashwaju.
All right, thank you. SEC seeks tax exemption for corporate bonds. That's on page 2 of the Nation. And finally, from the Nation, my faith in judiciary unshaken, says Oyetola. And that's on page 4 of the Nation newspaper.
He's in court, so we see how that pans out here.
Yeah, you see, I think we should, I don't know. The judiciary has a role to play in our electoral system. But the waste on people, because democracy is, democracy is an expression of the will of the majority. Why are people this desperate? And if you're popular, you will win now.
No,
why do you have to now
he has the right to go to court.
Technical? I'm not saying, no, I'm not talking now. I'm just being, can I say, being sentimental here now. Because I don't see why you've lost. But can we move on?
Well, we just, we have sore losers everywhere. If somebody is demanding somebody's resignation somewhere.
Right. Let's see how the courts will decide.
Exactly. I know that's where Fuad always say that is, he has the right to, go to court. He has gone. So
and the court will have a final say.
Let him exercise his right.
Yeah.
Let's move.
And DM is going to be a long haul. He's going to push it to the Supreme Court. I'm sure you know. So it's still a long journey.
But the guy would have been governor for I don't know.
I think that's the way they would expedite the court process, right? Even.
Yeah, I think the electoral act has put a limit to it, so it must be dispensed of at a particular time.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Let's move on to the Punch newspaper. You're still listening to Trends in the Papers on Mainland 98.3 FM. I have Adeyemi Saka with me via the phone line, and Fuad Sahid is here in the studio. Okay, so what's trending from the Punch newspaper? 578-day strikes. Angry lecturers dumping varsities. ASU laments. The riders to that, we have government's shoddy treatment pushing lecturers out of varsity system, says ASU president. 70% of bright, promising young lecturers leaving Nigeria, says Unilag ASU chair.
The same jackpot thing we're talking about.
It's even in the education sector too. Federal government to pay varsities management 170 billion naira earned allowances and others.
Well,
are we making headway? Are we not making headway?
From 1 trillion, you are paying 190 something billion naira. Does it make sense?
170.
Well, I think we need to understand that as a nation we are losing a whole lot. A lot of
that's your own focus.
No, honestly, if you go to the universities and understand these things, the quality of the lecturers, even their dedication to duty, the focus, you see that a lot of times they just do the job like, okay, let's just do something. The kind of dedication you get in the past, where lecturers are so much dedicated to system focus, is no longer there. A lot of them are even busy chasing consultancy jobs for private firms,
or grants.
Because you look at them, you look at how they are being taken care of. You even see a situation where students are better fed, are better treated, are better cared.
I don't know that student car park is even more.
There's always this thing of you going to see students' car parks and the car parks of the lecturers, and you see the difference. So we need to, whether we like it or not, even go check out their offices. See if there's anything special about their offices.
Sandra Fuad, I remember when Obasanjo got into office in 1999. When the government also went on strike and after everything, we saw the transformation of the lives of lecturers. I saw lecturers buying cars. I knew lecturers that were buying cars. There are people that were queuing with us at the bus stops then, back in UNAB, now FUNAB, were buying cars. So when the economy is good and the government policy is good, you don't have to use a microscope to see it. It is obvious. You will see it. And I say this, some people will come out and start blackmailing ASU or say whatever they want to say. Yes, ASU might be going far or to the extent with his demands. But there are some of these demands that we cannot wish away. Pick an average computer science student in a public university. Place him by the side of a computer science student, the same level in a private university in Nigeria. You will see the chasm in training and in probably the skills they probably will acquire. Our public universities is training people, but not training them for even the job of the 21st century.
Yeah, they are not training them for the market. They are not even well equipped for.
They are not employable, not because the lecture, but the things are not there. And we are even living in the 21st century for the 22nd century. So we are training people with skills or whatever of 1985, 1972 in 2022. Right. It's not too much for us to ask for these things.
No, it's not. Apparently, because
and
as it is now, even there are some people who are even going as far as advising parents to try to see if they can afford private universities.
Sandra, that's a conspiracy for me. A lot of the young ones may not know this. There was a time where public primary school was so good that was the only thing that you think of taking your child to. That was
a better option.
Public primary school
was the better option.
It got to a point where it was messed up. Private primary schools came up and it became a problem.
They're giving them free food.
Now, the same thing secondary school. A lot of us went to public secondary schools. Not because they were in private secondary schools, but they were so fantastic. The quality was there. Before you knew it, everything
and the heritage.
You understand the heritage and all of that. There were schools you just wanted to associate with.
You just know that I'm proud to have gone to this school, that
go
school.
Check those schools now and see what has happened. Now you have a lot of private secondary schools with bogus monies, and you wonder. The same thing is happening to the university system, and we are not paying attention. You now have private universities all around,
but I think there's another thing we should now put out there. I think there's a need for us to start sensitizing Nigerians. I think the era that in this time and age, in 2022, somebody still getting admission to Unilag and you're paying 20,000 naira tuition fee is unrealistic.
Yeah, definitely. I agree.
We need to now start. There's a regular call, I think, from Ogba that says there's a need for us to come up with a fund.
The Education Trust Fund, yeah. There's TED Fund, really. There's a TED Fund,
students can get student loans. But now the question with Nigeria is, when you now incur the student
how do you pay back? Where's
the job for you to now start paying back?
Where is the job guarantee to pay back?
Because we have to move very quickly. We may have to lump it with focus for this morning. Just stay with us to Mainland Focus. All right, more details of the angry lecturers. Actually, there's a whole lot of story in the report itself, and it's on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. All right, I also have military ends siege to Somali hotel, 21 dead. More details on page 43 of the Punch. We also have black marketer's wife, children die in Lagos explosion. That's an unfortunate story, a very, very unfortunate story, and it just tells you why you should not store fuel in your sleeping area. On pages 4 and 5 of the Punch newspaper.
But Sandra, can we just have a functional society?
Yes. I know where you are going to, but this is an unfortunate story that has happened.
And but assume you can just go and buy fuel for just a jail for a day. You can't be going back every day because there's no power every day.
Okay. All right. So well.
What is the black marketer? It was for business.
I don't even know what. I don't have to come back to that.
This is for
but if everything is working, there will be no need for black market.
It's all right. We're not encouraging the black market, but we're just saying that people should stop storing fuel if they can, just try to. Or store it properly.
I don't know why.
Is there any better way to store it?
Just if you need fuel, go buy from a filling station. I don't know why.
See how you just sit there and think it's so
okay. Let me tell you this.
I don't think it's.
Sorry, Sandra. Let me explain this. I think it was on Sunday or Saturday, returning home, There's something I saw in my street, and I got worried. Just a normal shop in the street, about 3-4 shops together. Somebody had opened up a gas filling point. A gas point, a gas filling point.
That one is common now.
That's common now.
Wait, I'm saying these are the things now. You see, we don't take this thing seriously.
They sell gas on
No, some of us have been shouting.
We've been shouting at this. I was worried because it's now right on my street. You know, the guy at next.
So when we're shouting that was not your street.
I'm just saying that the worry has gotten to a point where I'm now like, now in my street. But we've always been talking about these things. People don't care about these things until it becomes a problem.
It's okay.
And next to it are like 4 shops. I think there's one person maybe even cooking close to it.
And that's where you now come in. I don't know.
So what am I supposed to do?
You're not supposed to overlook it.
So do what precisely?
You live on that.
Shut the person's business?
No, but you just advise.
Okay, that is the mentality. Report to the legislature.
Who am I going to report to?
Report to the state.
Do you know that the local governments are coming to collect revenue, collect all manner of tax from them? Are you saying the government don't know? Are they not aware?
All right. Well, thank you very much for bringing that to light. We hopefully, what ministry is responsible? That's environment.
Ministry of Environment.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay, so
fiscal planning.
Yeah, there's also the Lagos State Safety Commission too.
Ministry of Environment. As you are listening now, I will tell you where Fuad lives so that you can go there and do the needful.
I'm sure that's it. It's not only you just said you have one on your street too.
They don't know where I live.
It is everywhere.
It's everywhere.
All right, let's keep moving. We don't have so much time. It's an unfortunate situation that we have found ourselves. Ikoyi building subscribers sue Lagos seek compensation. It's okay. More details on page
I pity the subscribers.
They paid now.
Paid so to who?
To the
developer.
Yes.
Who is dead? So are they going to be compensated?
But why are they suing Lagos State?
I don't know, because Lagos State is taking over the site. That's the law.
And Lagos State, and it was negligence of Lagos State that brought about it.
But what about Foreshore itself?
That's why I say, what do you do with Foreshore? The man is dead.
The man is dead, but the company is still alive.
Okay, well, if the books are in proper shape,
it's okay. All right, more details of.
Wait, so we're talking about compensation. Have they compensated Nigerians for the off-spec?
DME.
Because DME, when we're talking about Foreshore, remember that as they were paying, the guy was raising the building, so he was spending on the building and all of that. So
it's all right.
How do you get them compensated?
Maybe not everything.
But what about the ones that we can talk?
Thank you very much. More details on page 25 of the Punch newspaper. We also have here 353 Kirikiri inmates on death row, says NCOS. That's Nigeria Custom.
And nobody's signing it. 353 inmates in Kirikiri on death row. And that's the problem. Do we just expunge this thing from our laws?
Pardon now?
No. The more people say that since the governors are reluctant to sign this thing, let us just take it off our law. So maybe the maximum will be a life sentence, not like death sentence.
The question is, if you are not willing to kill them, then let them go home.
Or even expunge the death sentence from our law. So it's yes, now because you send them to death.
You might even put the death sentence because some people will now be scared of doing some things because of the death sentence.
No, it's always this spiritual thing that I don't want somebody's death to be on my hands, and that's why the government.
Am I the one that killed him?
The government has to sign off the
the one that
killing.
signed it off. More details.
Didn't you read the Bible? And I wash my hand after signing.
No, that's why you are not the governor. You could all sign everything.
It's okay. Thank you very much, gentlemen. More details on page 10 of the Punch newspaper. We also have, I'm running very quickly here now. Many CSOs are PDP members in disguise, says Kiamo. It's Kiamo that said it. And you can get more details on page 7.
Maybe it's also PDP because it was part of civil society before it got into office.
It's okay.
We said many, so.
Many. Maybe not all. It didn't say all. We just read 2 now. That is taking
God knows how many we
ASU to court. So, undisbursed loans push Nigeria's World Bank debt to $21 billion. And that's on page 26.
Undisbursed
loans. And we have the picture of the Minister of Finance just by the side of that story. You can get more details on page 26. Yes. Federal government concludes takeover of 4 discos. Fuad's best friend.
Those guys will go to court. It's not going to come easy.
More details on page 25, and then of Malami's story also on page 16. Sorry, let me not say because Malami has a lot of stories. $418 million Malami has abandoned AGF rule, says NGF. Say, the governors are saying
is that the one? Is the debt collector?
He's no longer doing.
Collect basic.
He's no longer doing
the job of the AGF.
So that's what details on
Malawi
page 16
is a whole lot
of the Punch, and then also have 1 trillion naira spent on steel imports. Ajakuta takes 21 billion naira. That's on page 25 of.
Are we producing any steel from that place?
The Punch.
No, Ajakuta was operating at some point.
Yes, it was. But then there's the revitalization fund that was released last week for Ajakuta. But let's more details on page 25 of that report. I'll just quickly peruse the front page of Vanguard newspaper. We don't have so much time. The major headline: strike. Federal government considering ban on ASU.
See?
Riders to that to approach National Industrial Court. Approves additional 100 billion naira to varsities. Register our union now. ASU's rival Konua tells federal.
That was how they started with the Northern Nigeria Bar Association.
No. Remember
More details on pages 5 and 7 of Vanguard.
Remember when TUC came as almost a rival to NLC?
When we are taking the ASU story, we'll come back to that. Yes, thank you. All right. More details on pages 5 and 7 of Vanguard newspaper. All right. You are a source of inspiration to many. Omagige tells Olu of Warri. That's on page 11. Train attack. Can 6 quick rescue of Azofa. Lois others. And that's on page 35. PDP crisis. Atiku's camp may call Wike's bluff. Announce campaign committee. That's on page 8 of Vanguard.
That's a reasonable thing to do.
Another thing they can do is they can just shut the cap and just announce him as TG campaign.
You don't go collect that. You don't go take her.
I strongly doubt. Okay, but let me. That was my own. Power supply, forex, others discourage foreign investors in Nigeria, and that's coming from a Japanese envoy. That's on page 11. Adeleke to Oyetola, stop diversion of government assets and funds. That's an interesting one. More details on page 10. And then on page 11, still on the front page of Vanguard, you have Tribunal. My faith in judiciary unshaken, says Oyetola.
That's good.
It's okay. And above the masthead of Vanguard, we have Paris Club refund. We didn't take $100 million from consultants for state elections, says governors. All right.
I saw that story flying around.
Well, that's on page 7 for more details. We also have Tinubu Shetima 2023. Ononuga Alake Keyamo lead APC campaign media team. That's on page 10. Bandit kingpin Dogo Gide seizes large farm in Birni Gwari. That's on page 34. Birni Gwari. Sorry, thank you. Bello Turji has embraced peace in Zamfara, says Deputy Governor. That's on page 6. Also a bandit kingpin who's now working for
So what
the
are they
Zamfara
doing
state
to these guys?
Just
pampering them, negotiating with them.
As you have come, you have changed, we have welcomed you with open
So no
arms.
consequence for all the dastardly acts, all the crimes they've committed.
He's helping them to comb the forest for
now.
terrorists.
So it's part of what now?
The good.
So what are the consequences for all the actions they've engaged in the past?
Forgiveness.
Who forgave them? The government or the people that they've harmed?
The governor of Zamfara State.
Okay.
It's okay. BME is quiet.
Okay, you are not talk now.
More details.
Biased.
More details on page 6 of Vanguard.
You see the way they are treating these guys with kid gloves, yeah? Pampering them.
I've always said that now.
It's all right. It's okay. But let's take a short break. When we come back, we'll move on straight to Mainland Focus. And then Fuad, we can hear all about your grievance as regards ASU. And also, there are two things, actually. The electronic transmission of results.
Yeah.
You know, the hindrance or the
there's no cause for concern. You know, I don't know why it's making news and why it's a problem. But we'll take it when we come back. Yeah.
Stay with us then. All right, DME, we'll connect you back on Mainland Focus. Thank you very much for staying with us. You're listening to Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, we'll move on to Mainland Focus, where you get to be a part of the show. Stay with us. right, welcome back. It's time for Mainland Focus on Mainland 98.3 FM. And I still have Fuad Sahid with me in the studio, and hopefully we'll be able to reconnect with Adeyemi Saka via the phone line. My name still remains Omobola Sandra, and in this part of the show, we pick, particular topics of interest or a particular topic of interest, and we try to, flesh it out. That seemed to be the major trending story across all the papers. And this morning, we've decided to look at two different, focal points for this morning. The first one is, of course, electronic transmission of results stays. So the era of manual transmission of election results is gone, as INEC said yesterday, and the electronic transmission of poll results, the electoral umpire said, has come to stay. And this was clarified by the Chairman, Information and Voter Education Committee, Festus Okoye, and also INEC National Commissioner. And, they're saying that they're going ahead with this. And also the citizens, you can also follow, polling unit level results on the INEC results viewing portal in real time on election day. Sorry for that. All right. So there have been some, speculations. People have been saying there have been some misunderstanding, let me put it that way, of some positions on the procedure for results management during election. Some people had interpreted the explanation to mean that the commission has jettisoned the electronic transmission of results and reverted to the manual process. All right, and that is why they had to come and clarify that no, the electronic transmission of results stays. But then there are still statements out there that, so from people like Fuad, that feel that what's the point of electronic transmission when the
voting process itself is largely still manual.
It's still manual. So that means that, if it's still manual, that means that the process of counting the votes is still going to be manual. It's just that the transmission for people to know or hear about the result is what's going to be electronic. You can just go on the INEC portal and view live as the counting is ongoing, real time. All right, so that's where the issue is going. There's this issue of back and forth and whatnot. The misunderstanding is ongoing. That's one part of the process. Sorry, the focal point for this one. The second one is ASU. The issue, that ASU seem to be having. So yes, there are people who are upset with the fact that ASU is still demanding 6 months. The 6 months that the strike was on active. They're saying that they have to be paid for that 6 months. There are some people, some civil society organizations are even, going against ASU on that one. But then we're also looking at it from this perspective. The fact that 70% of bright, promising young lecturers are leaving Nigeria, and also others. And we're looking at the education sector as a whole, the tertiary education sector as a whole, and we're looking at it that, do you actually agree with the ASU president saying government shoddy treatment is pushing lecturers out of the varsity system? Because what we have now is that some lecturers may not even resume if ASU calls off the strike, because as it is, we're getting information that some lecturers have relocated abroad, some have turned to farming,
some are even picking other corporate jobs.
Some are picking corporate jobs, some are moving into the private sector, the private sector. So the system in itself is, do you think that the education system can come back from this 6 months that has gone? How do we now rebuild? I wouldn't say build, because as it is now, things are looking very scary in the education sector. So those are the two focal points that we're going to be looking at. But before we do, I still have Adeyemi Saka with me via the phone line. Adeyemi?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. So first, I'm going to ask you your thoughts exactly as regards, electronic transmission of results. Let me just put this, clarification. Festus Okoye said that electronic transmission of results will be deployed for the 2023 general elections, and there was this misunderstanding that the procedure of the results management during elections may be manual, and especially as regards the counting process,
the collation
of the results in itself. I know I know there was an extensive discussion on the roundtable yesterday, but
INEC cannot do not have any other choice than to transmit results electronically.
That's what the Electoral Act says.
But that's what the Electoral Act says. So it's not telling us something new. And my position yesterday, and will still be the same today, is this. We all know with our electoral process is not purely or totally electronic. At some point there is manual intervention, from how they give you the ballot, people to cast your vote and drop in a ballot box, and the counting, and the sorting and the counting. So, what I like I said yesterday, this is just pure information management. Poor information management. From the one that the Electoral Act was signed into law, became a law, INEC should have started sensitizing Nigeria. This is the whole process. And the guy did not say anything new. But just the reporter that did his job by blowing it out because he wants to do his job. And he asked the question, the guy it wasn't quoted out of context. Because whether we like it or not, the votes will be counted manually, will be sorted manually,
collated manually,
will be recorded manually, before they now input the figure on a server, on a machine, probably on a system that transmits it to a server. That's it.
So at the end of the day, there is no
there's no cause for alarm. The whole thing started with a report on Saturday where a newspaper had reported Festus Okoye saying that the collation of results in 2023 was going to be manual. And that was what set up that. I think electronic is still a bit fraud-proof, better fraud-proof than anything manual.
Yes.
But like the ME said, it's just poor information management. It's a very simple thing. We know the elections process. We saw it in Ekiti. We saw it in Osun State. Okay. The BVAS is a very good thing. What does BVAS do? At least that's biometric verification of people that will vote in a polling unit. And so one part of the electoral law that is also good is that the vote tally at the end of the day must tally with accredited voters at a polling unit. So, for example, if you accredit 100 voters, you cannot get 105 or 110. It has to be 100 or less. So the idea of ballot stuffing, manipulation and all of that, BVAS would help in that regard.
Okay, yes, but if you say that there's no cause for concern, and then the counting, collation, and then it is still a manual process to upload onto the servers
before it becomes transmitted,
don't you think that that's where the concern should come from?
No. What I'm saying is that the BVAS would mitigate whatever can come from that end, in the sense that if you are not accredited, the number of accredited voters in a polling unit must tally with votes cast. It cannot be more, it can be less. You understand? Because there are people who may be accredited to vote and will not eventually vote.
Okay.
It's possible to be accredited to vote and you decide, I don't want to wait.
So you're saying that cannot be tampered with?
It cannot, because of course that's electorally recorded. That's the initial stage of the voting process. But what we are saying is that there's no cause for alarm, because there are still manual processes to the entire voting process, because you still have to print, get a ballot paper, which is manual.
That is where
and then the counting will still be manual.
That's where the cause for concern is coming from. The fact that before we get to the electronic transmission, up until that point, it's all manual.
But that's why BVAS was brought in to check that.
At the first, in the first.
The number of accredited voters in a polling unit.
So you think that just BVAS alone
would at least stop any attempt to tamper with results, like inflating the results or anything.
Do you agree with this, DME?
Yeah, I do.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, so we'll open up the phone line and let's hear from. Do you think that there's no cause for alarm, despite the fact that fine, we're going to be transmitting the results electronically? You can get real time, transmission results, live on the INEC portal. But then let's not forget that leading up to that point is still a manual process. So what are your thoughts? Do you think it's a cause for concern or not? That's one. Then two, your thoughts as regards the way the federal government has been treating the education
I'll
sector.
just tell the federal government to get serious. The idea of trying to ban ASU is a joke, a complete joke.
Yes.
The industrial law is very clear. Workers have a right to form unions and exist as a union. to press home their points and dissatisfaction in an employment system. So I think the government should get serious and leave that. The other one is trying to bring up a rival group. It was done during the NLC era where TUC came up, but eventually TUC had to understand that, look, when you fight for a cause and it's genuine, there's no way you're going to be a problem to that particular cause. So I just think the government should get serious. You don't go this route, especially when somehow we're already seeing light at the end of the tunnel. So for me, it's just a complete waste of time.
Adeyemi, there are indications that the federal government may consider the option of proscribing ASU if it fails to call off the strike after an offer was made to it.
Why do people just like to just spend so much effort and energy on what they know it is baseless and won't stand the test of time? That proscription be vacated by a court.
It will even fly.
So why?
All right.
Where does the right to association come in our laws?
All right. Okay, so that's where we have the second one. We have a very unfortunate education sector, especially at the tertiary level at the moment in Nigeria. And then now we have indications, it's still speculations, you never know. Indications have emerged that the federal government may consider the option of proscribing ASU if ASU fails to call off the prolonged strike after an offer has been made to them. Those are the two.
So if you make me an unreasonable offer, I should just call it is binding on me, I should take it.
It's okay.
Why didn't the government take ASU's offer?
All right. Thank you very much.
And now prescribers they don't yield.
Okay. So let's get thoughts from our callers. 09136 000 410. 09136 000 410. That's the number for you to call, or you can send a text message or a WhatsApp message, and let's hear your thoughts. Okay, 2 minutes. Okay, and let's try to keep it clean. Would appreciate that. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. My name is my first time.
Your name is
Moses. First time caller.
First time caller. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. I actually want to make a call last week. I couldn't get the number. I called your studio, so they gave me the number to call. Then you already closed anyway. Yeah. Concerning the ASU, but I think the federal government should not actually not blow it out of proportion, because IPOB will not carry ammunition when they prescribe them. Hey, after the prescription, they now say, well, you already said I'm a terrorist, let me carry ammunition. So if you now we have the more youth on the streets at home, if you now decide to prescribe ASU, that should be with the student that.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, I think we lost the
call. And the penetration. So I think it will be as the adding more pepper or adding more injury to what is already on ground. So I think the ASU or the federal government should actually find a way to resolve the situation together. And again, for last week, I wanted to make a call for somebody a accountant that called about
the subsidy. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but I think that was not well treated, because, sir, are you saying that if NFPC get the refinery get the crude oil for free, then they will get to refinery for free? That shows the federal government will sell to Nigeria for free. All right. Then I work at the airport. That shows the Nigeria Airway will get the aviation fuel for free. That this ticket to Nigeria for free. Each sector needs to provide money only to the head for the organization. Even when the federal government gives the fuel to aviation at a lower price, maybe 50%. So that shows if Nigeria Airway is selling their ticket for 35,000 naira, Ari is selling for 50,000.
Right.
Aero is selling for 50,000. Nobody will go to Aero and Ari. Understand? I'm only going to say.
Thank you very much. Okay. All right. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning to you, Lady Sandra.
Good morning.
Mr. Fuad, good morning to you.
Good morning, Prince Wise.
They will still go there to go and buy, and the buyer.
Hello. Good morning.
Can I go ahead?
Yeah,
yes,
go ahead,
please.
Prince Wise.
Thank you, my dear. May God bless you all and bless your management. Amen. You see, this morning, about ASU matter, expect to distract ASU, no. But if there's a law that you say no pay, no work, no pay, I want the federal government or the federal government to approve this industrial court. We want this matter to be settled amicably. It has a law. The university lecturers should know this. When we were on strike for complete 6 months without work, and some of them work in the private university. Some of they collect money there, they come back here, they still want to collect their money.
But not all of them, sir.
Hello?
Not all of them.
Hey, maybe not all of them. They should know the law. It has a existing law that says no work, no pay. They should stand on that. Because as it is now, if they pay their money without work, other bodies will say, what they are doing. The lecturers, the majority of them are professors, they should know the law. We must maintain the law. If it's a bit starting, right? Maybe 2 weeks, a month, after 2 or 3 months, they should stop their pay. That's my stand this morning. Everybody should be disciplined. With corruption and ravage in this country, and this is part of corruption. When you want to collect while you do not work, you see, right? So the settlement should come around now by federal government to oppose the drug sharp.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. We have Ambassador Musba from Mission.
All right. Good morning, Ambassador Musba.
Yeah. To me, ASU, but ASU, they are about to shut themselves at the foot because even their comment is enough for federal government to hold on their payment because they say that most lecturers are not coming because I'm not job. Most of them are not coming back. Most of them have travel. Okay, is this to collect money? Are they to collect pay from government? Those who are not working again, who are about to travel out?
No. They are not saying. They are not saying. They are just saying that this is happening. There are people who have decided to just.
Decided. It was say the same thing. They have decided. Now, to me, why can't they just quiet and let them sort this out? They don't use that as a threat. Even to me, I'm not subscribed to their attitude because to me, I'm not concerned. Even federal government and national have failed because they didn't consider the students. $60 for 6 months. I think that is enough for the students. You want to tell me all the students will go back to school? Most of them are far away. Most of them are far other jobs.
Okay, so what exactly?
Because of government only responsibility. That's why lecturers are leaving, students who are leaving. We can't blame us. We should blame the government for allowing us to, after a series of warnings, to go on strike.
What I'm saying is that as to there is so much Jamosa, Lamaki Kongilogo. We need to fight again. They need to fight again. Look, to me, the close eye for this 6 months, to me, is something I condemn. Look, to me, when you are fighting, you can't win everything at the same time. Not is that, let's see how they're going to solve that, but me, I'm not okay with them. On the election, on the manual can, there's no how everything can beat on electronic. There must be a manual. So for what concerns people that we should go all sides for our votes, we should make sure that everything is done at present. Either the year electronic or manual, we should stand because in an example, people say there's no data, and they say there's no data. People provide data. People stand on their votes, so that's what we Nigeria should do.
Thank you,
we should not be playing. What they are saying should not contact. What we should stand up. Let's start with our votes and make sure our vote counts and the judges are made.
This is Michael Adibale calling from Akute.
Okay,
Michael. All right, please go ahead.
Yeah. On the issue of the transmission of the election, as it is concerned electronically transmission or whatever, just like you said.
I didn't even know what you just said. Okay.
No, just as it concerns electronic
transmission of results.
Transmission of results. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So that it is still going to be manual because everybody will still take it. It's not that you go to a particular system and then you punch the party you are voting for and then it goes. So it is still going to be manual. But we should, just like the other caller said, everybody, we have to stand by the vote. And the only thing different there is that the result is going to be put in INEC server, just at the polling unit when the result has been concluded, which is a welcome development at least. And then the other one, the BVAS or whatever, what did you call it? That one too is helping a lot. Yes, that one too is helping a lot. So if you have 100 people that have been clear to vote and accredited to vote, and then you are having 105. The issue of ASU. I believe that, like somebody said, we can live to fight another day. You can't always have everything. Government is irresponsible, but we as citizens as well, we as Nigerians, as people like that, we should not be the problem of ourselves. We should also consider ourselves. Let's assume that these lecturers are not part of lecturer. They are also, but cannot begin to shoot ourselves in the foot when we have the power to also bend the little. We also understand that the government is not that responsible. But you can't always have everything. Also, too, should consider at least these students and parents, because what is in the limelight is now the government have agreed to what they want, and that's what everybody is carrying up and down. That is now left for us. So at least in some aspect, and then you can't you have not worked for 6 months and then you want to collect pay. You can live to fight another day, please.
Thank you very much.
President Buhari was sick in hospital for 6 months. He collected salary.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. Yes, good morning.
Good morning, Sandra. Good morning, Mr. Fuad.
Good morning, sir.
Say hi to Mr. Ademi.
Good morning.
My name is Engineer Robert Magbera.
Okay.
All right. So on the issue of an INEC and transmission of a result, what happened is this: a lot of changes have been made, and is a welcome development. Because first, the issue of a voter. Let's start from the voter's card. Unlike before, where you have some political parties and their agents going to local government, collecting people's cards, dumping it somewhere. It cannot happen again. Because for a voter to collect his or her card, you have to do the process where you did before during the registration and during the transfers of a PVC. You have to snap, you have to thumbprint again so as to confirm you are the rightful owner and the collector of the card. So the same thing is happening at the election, the polling unit. The beaver, you confirm if you have even let me tell you, even if you do transfer and your card is damaged, you can still vote. So far, your name is now at the new polling center. And when you put your finger, in case there are some elections before that whereby they said the card reader can't detect the card is damaged or so. But now, even if your finger is there, it will bring out your information. The new review, the new picture of just this recent one. By placing your finger on the device, it will bring out every details about you. So you can vote. Even without the card, you will be allowed to vote. So far, this one is authentic. And about the transmission of the result, so far it is there at the polling unit there. So the collation of that result is another, before you go to local government to collect results, but now it's not like that. They will have to do the collation at the state secretariat, but at the polling unit there, you count and the party agent will sign to it and then immediately sent to the INEC server. So people will still have at least a relief and trust in INEC with this new development.
All right. Thank you, Engineer Robert. Thank you very much for your contribution. You're listening to Mainland 98.3 FM. Don't forget that we're live on Facebook and YouTube at Mainland 98.3 FM. All right, let's take some messages, shall we? And then we move back to taking our phone calls. We have here, I don't know. Okay, I'll start with this one. Good morning, team. My question is, does the National Assembly people and government officials not collect their full pay and their outrageous bonuses? Can these people be treated the way they are treating ASU? You would imagine what will happen if one of their many bonuses or if their salaries, is reduced or tampered with. The government is just being selfish and irresponsible. Andrew from Yaba with his own contribution there. We have Good Morning Milan crew. I greet you guys aesthetically. Why is this government so frustrated to the point of considering banning ASU? I trust Nigerian students. They will come hard on the government like NSAS. Let me ask Mr. Fuad, without the members. Mr. Fuad, if they ban ASU,
I'm trying to ban.
Well, James Ogbona from Oshodi is asking questions there. And then we also have Good Morning Sandra Adeyemi and Fuad. This is Frank from Egbeda. I'm currently watching you guys on YouTube. Thank you very much. I can see I can see Sandra saying it's okay. It's all right. On the focus, federal government to ban ASU just because they demanded for a better improvement in our universities. This is a bad move for this government. This same government want to ban people from using social media, and now ASU. For INEC, I wish they could display the results live as they arrive their database on one of the national televisions stations, as we have it in Nigeria Stock Exchange market, so that people will follow the counting and recording of results. With this, I don't think any party would be cheated. And that's Frank from Egbeda. I also have let me see. Hi, Mainland crew. This issue of brain drain in the long run will have a serious adverse effect on the country's GDP. The education sector, medical, IT, and other sectors, other vital sectors have started seeing a decline in their wonderful and highly skilled hands. And all these other countries see this as opportunities to build their own economy. Let the federal government go and borrow money and implement policies that will rebuild these economies. See, all banks recently with network and financial issue as all their IT done japa. And that's actually another issue that we should be looked into. A lot of banks, have been having serious issues.
Their IT,
their IT is not, is not as equipped as before.
Everybody's running out.
And that's Sean from Festac. Okay. We also have good morning. Transmitting our votes electronically is what will clarify who is voted in. As for INEC, they should not mess up with our 2023 election, because this upcoming election and the youths are like time bomb.
There's no reason to fear.
Okay, well, they should try and be fair. That's Jacob Cool from Shomolu sharing his own thoughts. Let's go back to phone calls. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Kola from Ilukweju. You are doing a great job there.
Thank you very much.
Sir.
Yeah. I just want to draw your attention to maybe one thing. I had it on some other forum. UK lecturers, we go on strike. UK, US, we go on strike. They will not be paid. What they do, hello.
We are with you, sir.
What they do is that the union pay the lecturers from their subscription. Several people have called from the US and the UK on other forums on our radio here. What they do is that they pay the lecturers from their subscription, which they do per month. That's what I want to ship in.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Kola, from UK. Sorry.
From
Ilukweju.
From Ilukweju. Thank you very much. All right. So, do you think that's visible for us here in this country? Of what? DME?
Me.
The thing is,
do we have subscription that will be,
of course,
that will
course.
be buoyant enough?
No.
Can we have subscriptions
it's
that
not
will
even
be
possible
buoyant enough to
pay
for 6 months?
Can I ask a question? Are strikes frequent in such climes like we have in Nigeria?
It's not even.
Are the demands the same?
Then we have to also look at the peculiarities of our system.
Do you know that every public university in the US is as good as Harvard?
Even
some people should be careful how they come up with comparison.
I don't know why we are quick to look at what happens in other climes as best practice when it is an issue for us to maybe defend the government. But when it comes to critical issues, like DME just asked, the level of education in those countries, in terms of facility, in terms of funding and everything, is it the same? Are the demands the same?
Let's also not forget, someone was talking about student loans and how,
do we have it here?
Okay, let's take this call. It's okay. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Sandra.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm well, thank you very much. Peter Omanse from Shomolu.
Nami, Bradford, how are you? Adeyemi, wherever you are, we greet you.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, I will not just say some people call on other forums. Let me be specific and mention name here. There is one man, Mr. Remy from Tottenham in UK. He says he works in the university environment or community, and he told us that the lecturers in Nigeria are the least paid, one of the least paid in the world.
Oh, I agree on that completely.
And then he gave us some other, information about how universities. Okay, why are our people taking their children there? Why can't they keep them here? If the system is the same, you want to bring in what is happening abroad to come and compare with people that the salaries of the House of Assembly members and the senators in a month is what we pay lecturers in 2 years. Is that what we want to compare? And then somebody came the other day and was telling us that they live in free houses. Do you know the houses that lecturers there are living? You said the union should pay when they make their subscription. How much do these lecturers receive that they will take out from there to make subscription?
What's even the amount of the subscription? Yeah.
The high school members should consider. What are you saying? They tell us that, look, the students that the graduates they turn out are half-baked because they don't have equipment to train them. They don't have conducive environment to train them. And then a student will come out and say, I'm a graduate, and cannot write application for work. He will come out, you give him a camera, he cannot know what to do with the digital camera. And he's studying photography in Nigeria. So what are we talking about? ASU, please, your 6 months salary, basic. I don't think you took word from my mouth. Yes, President Buhari is a president that must enjoy things in Nigeria. But when we pay for his medical bill, it's okay. But if he receives salary alongside what we pay for his medical bill, then ASU will never collect. ASU, please, don't collect anything less than your 6 months because they have made a lot of sacrifices. I think Nigeria should move forward. But not
the other governments. I'm with you. I heard that. Hello, good morning.
Sandra, good morning.
Good morning, Don Peters.
Good morning, Ademi and Forward.
Good morning.
Do you know that what is good for the goose is good for the gander? Somebody was sick in London for 3 months. He collected his ESTA code. He registered what he did the senators and the House of Rep. They will sit for how many years in a year? They will collect every down thing that needed to be collected.
Absentee legislators.
Yeah. The poor ASU should not be paid. Now, those who make sure that our infrastructures are not working have not been prescribed. Those who make sure that we are sleeping in darkness and manufacturing in darkness prescribed. So where are we? And some people will still call on radio station to tell abroad. Have you sit down in your corner of your house and ask yourself, why is these people, if you are comparing the two, why are they sending their children abroad? So please, like as I said before, and be telling us that the ASU should, but those who enter us in government should get what they want. I think we are the one making demigod out of all these politicians. We are the ones even making sure that they treat us.
Thank you.
Please, ASU should stand their ground until these people meet their demand. And all Nigerians should join them.
Thank you, Don Peters. All right, thank you very much for your contribution. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes. How are you, Sandra?
Oh, I'm well, thank you. Barrister Oko.
I'm Fuad. Yes,
Good
God
morning,
bless
Barrister
you.
Oko.
Good morning.
Yes.
Good morning,
How are
sir.
you doing?
Well,
Yeah, God bless you.
all right.
Yes. He say Ademi is not around. Right? Okay. Well, you see, on this issue, if you remember the other time, let me start from ASU because that is more important for me. The ASU team, I am very disappointed at the leadership of ASU because I have said the other time, if you remember, that something to strike as the first solution is outdated, is uncivilized. We entered into agreement with the federal government in 2009, and up till now, those agreements have not been respected. All they could have just done, the leadership of our house, what they could have done is go to the National Industrial Court.
But Barrister Oko,
yeah?
if they had gone to the Industrial Court and get judgments, and the government does not still implement
Do anything.
those judgments,
Implementation is the issue.
so
here
what happens? It's possible, yeah, they could have gone to the Industrial Court, get judgments, and yet the government would not implement it. What do you now do?
Yes, you explore that option first.
strike is not the first option. We're living in a civilized society. You know, strike is like jungle justice.
Okay, Barrister Oko.
But now the strike is 6 months old. How do we move forward? Yeah.
Exactly. They've gone on the strike. So what's the way forward now for implementation?
Yes, the way forward right now is for them to call off the strike and go to the National Industrial Court, because the students are the ones suffering the whole thing. You know, they should go to court and await the court is ready.
All right.
Find an affidavit of urgency why the court must take a decision on this matter, because the matter of national urgent matter of national importance.
Okay.
So they should go back and resume their work and
go to the industrial court. All right. Thank you very much.
Yes, exactly.
All right.
That is what they should do. Then on the issue of INEC, like Ademi said,
you've used 3 minutes already.
On the issue of INEC,
Oko, you've used 3 minutes already.
Now, wow. Okay.
Thank you very much. Okay. All right. Let's move back to taking text messages at this point now. You're listening to Mainland 98.3 FM, and we're on Mainland Focus. Don't forget that you can, view the show live on YouTube and Facebook. Good morning, guys. Both ASU and federal government are not sincere. ASU is not sincere in the sense that they do not want full autonomy of the university system, and federal government not sincere in the sense that they don't have the political will to bring about the right policy that will end this ASU strike permanently. This policy will mean that the students will pay cost-reflective fees. This is the only way our university system can be revitalized. Student loans, scholarships can then be used to take care of the students that won't be able to pay this fee. ASU and federal government are not ready for the solution. And that's Femi from Ogba. It's okay. We also have Good Morning Mainland FM. I have been saying this over time now. This government wants to make sure Nigeria is completely destroyed before they leave office. ASU strike, doctor strike, bread strike, truck drivers, everything. They're only concerned about themselves. Now that our hope is to change things in 2023, they have already done it as usual. God help us. And that's Chinedu from Orisumbari with his own thoughts there. I also have INEC chairman should come out to tell us about the transmission of results, so that tomorrow he will not say we didn't hear anything from him. I don't trust these people. By the end of this administrations, what next Nigerians hear, they will tear it before the year Buhari. Okay. APC and everything. Imagine we going to smaller African countries before traveling by air. The worst are coming from APC yet. Someone said he will continue with these legacies if elected president. God deliver us. Where's Leah Sharibo? And that's Chijoke from Isolo. Okay. Chijoke from Isolo. Thank you very much for sharing. Oops. Okay. Yes. Thank you very much for sharing your own thoughts. Collating results. I'm so sorry. Collating results manually is an attempt to manipulate results and ballot snatching.
There's no manipulation now. The process is manual, whether we like it or not. The transmission is electronic.
Both transmission and collating should be electronically done.
Are you not going to turn print on the ballot?
Although religion is equally a factor in politics, but the mob needs to be apprehended for such assault on the bishop. Okay. Eleshi from Lasu, thank you very much for your contribution. We appreciate it. I also have Good morning, guys. A responsible government takes action and not complain about insecurity, crude oil vandalization, corruption. Education is not your priority. For God's sake, take responsibility and act now before you take life out of us. And that's Sammy from Ota sharing his own thoughts there. All right. Thank you very much, Sammy from Ota. Okay. Okay, let me go back to taking messages now. Sorry, phone calls. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Kangolina from Mapuloko.
All right, good morning.
Well, good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Mr. Dayemi, agreed.
Dami, I heard, sir.
Mr. Ford, I wanted to ask something. Whereby the beavers doesn't work, what happened?
Well, they have to they have to resort to manual verification to the voter register.
When they resort to manual accreditation, that's where Ururu will enter.
Well, because even if they were sure about the election, there were situations where the beavers.
That's what I'm saying. When they want to start rigging now, they will tell you that the beavers didn't work, and then the Ururu will start. You see this INEC? I don't trust them.
Mr. Kangula, don't let us over speculate. Let's trust the system. Let's just have open the system.
Okay, now let's trust them. Wait, but you know what happened? Wait, now people are using my time. Small time, your timekeeper will cut me off. Please, you remember the last election? They said that they didn't have, in the middle of the election, they said, oh, they don't have a website again, I'll be whatever. Portal. So that one became a Ururu thing. So we don't want to hear that thing from INEC again. My main concern is on ASU. You know, when they drag this thing too much, it becomes a problem. I've been telling them since. Strike. That's not the option. That's not the last option. Because if you continue strike, they're already losing popularity. Everybody is tired of them. So why can't they just leave this issue of strike? Every day strike. I'm just tired of ASU. And you are telling me that you want to collect 6 months pay. For what? I don't support that one at all. You people mentioned that the president was sick. If somebody is sick, that one is understandable. But if you elect not to go to work for the reason of strike, how can they pay you? If you are sick, it is understandable. Yes. Please, I want to put that in record. Please. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kangwelina. All right, let me quickly take some text messages. Good morning, crew. I'm not interested about the happenings. She's all I need and want. And that's Moses Ebong sending his own message from Festac. All right, and then we have good morning, house. It surprises me that you guys have so much faith in the electoral and selective system of this country.
We should.
No matter what name, the rigging strength is too much. On the exodus of lecturers, what do you expect when their salaries are seized for 6 months? They should go before they begin to lose their wives and children. And that's Gerald government is governing this our country so bad. Everything is going worse every day. And they want to come back and deceiving us again. Let's not be deceived. And that's Popobi from Mushi sharing his own thoughts. And we also have Ade from Isolo. On ASU, anyone who supports federal government for not paying lecturers is a wicked soul. I love the way APC government is campaigning for their party now. Ade from Isolo. 6 months. That's a strong one, though.
I know they will pay, but why overstretch it?
What they will pay?
I know they will eventually pay, so don't let us overstretch it.
Fuad said they will pay. So maybe we should work with that.
They will pay part of it and claim there is no money that they will pay later. You know, there is a down. Can I not trust that?
Thank you, Damlola.
Yeah, so let me start with ASU.
Okay.
Fine. I think ASU also at this point should take it easy. Fine, the federal government is messing up big time. When all these demands are met by the government, ASU will start teaching students reading and notebook, word for word, and things like that. Lecturer will come and tell you the Y, the V, the X, the whatever.
Differentiation.
No, maybe I'm just using that. Maybe I'm doing moment generating function, probability density function.
Yeah.
These are more like to cram. You understand? I think they need to do more. They should make academics very easy. They need to make it very easy. Maybe like they do in some private schools, teachers will need to drop their lesson notes. You don't use it. See, last year's module can't work for this year. The work keeps evolving every day. I can assure you that some students are now using that most of the, even, I go with tax and then I saw one of our guys, I saw he's in school, I saw something on taxation, and mind you, students in government and private university are already used to all these things. Tell me how they won't have competitive edge. The difference is clear. That's the truth.
All right. Thank
what
you.
These guys leave us.
Right.
You know, Sandra said something that I think caught my fancy. That's why, okay, this is it. Meeting can actually take place when your agents are not on ground. So when they keep talking about structure, people, hello?
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, people.
Thank you very
ground,
much.
yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, and Damlola. Unfortunately, we had to cut, that call. We're done with Mainland Focus actually, but then I've heard a lot as regards, there was something vital that
meant God knows how many polling units you're going to have
in each local government.
All
right.
So 140-something thousand.
That okay, this is happening. This just as we
all the polling units,
as we were able to watch, as the primaries at APC primaries, that was held out the paper. It was boldly written. It was if they can have that, maybe it would reduce or the apprehension that people have. I'm sure we'll still have you on for Global View.
Okay.
All right, thank you. All right, and thank you very much also
for thank you, Sandra, for having me.
And stay with us. Don't go anywhere. And
overturn the body.
international right about now. I still have Fuad Saeed with me via the phone line. I still have Fuad Saeed with me in the studio right here. So we're going to be looking through the trending stories that we have on the international scene right here on Global View. Don't forget to Mainland Focus, where the focus for this morning was actually the speculations or agitations that they as to INEC vote, and if it's a good thing, if it's not, we talked about a whole lot. So as it is now, Pakistan's police have charged police and judiciary of dealing outside his house, vowing to take over if he is arrested. Let's not Saka also with me via the phone line. So Adeyemi, Imran Khan has been charged under anti-terror laws.
It's very difficult to divorce anybody in public office in Pakistan from terrorism, because otherwise, the American ally. Pakistan has always been a safe haven for terrorists. Remember, that was the leader of Akel founded. But for me, it's just one thing that's been happening to Pakistan. No government.
Are you saying there's a curse hovering over Pakistan's prime minister?
I'm not saying that.
It's almost a 5-year term. And if you look across the border, you have a different scenario in democratically run India.
Where the has shown us that the system is not in America.
When you juxtapose what was a sports person to our government, still came up with the military always coming in to interfere with the democracy of Pakistan. So for me, I would think this accusation of terrorism is just
He's an international athlete. He has access to funds, and it's a possibility. But now I think it's a bit away from this lesson. I want to take away from this is I think America should be careful. America should be considered. Or nations, there are some nations that democracy will not work.
DME, I actually said this thing. I think into the Islamic way of governance, our system of government, where there's a king running the system. It's trying democracy in Saudi Arabia, and you expect it to work. So maybe an Islamic run. No government has finished the term.
Okay, so let's move on now as it is now, law and order. But we'll see how these things run. Moving on now, nuclear installations threatened by the conflict in Ukraine. So because let's not forget what's happened that testing, I don't know, but as it is, this is coming as there was some threats of some sort around the nuclear plants in Ukraine, and if it is scary, and that's why you have
is controlled by Russian forces now. One of the things they first did at the beginning of the war was to find a way to take control of the plant.
Nobody fear nuclear. Even the mad.
We've had situations where missiles have landed close to the plant, and nobody is completely sure of this.
Russia. Let me just put it out there. Do you know? Going nuclear. We're talking nuclear. Do you know what nuclear is?
It's psychoanalysis of people like Putin that we know. It's terminally ill.
It's not confirmed.
I said if.
Okay. Well,
what do you think? That is it.
Because that's
the
nuclear Yoruba man. So
it's okay. Because apparently their Independence Day is on the 24th of August. That's this Wednesday.
And trust Putin to want to show them
ahead of that, because Ukraine reported more missile strikes on Sunday near
the war. Going well for them. It's now more strategic. They are making, even in the Donbass region, there's a fight showing that the war is not going to end anytime soon. It's not anything for Russia to win easily.
Well, as it is now, there are serious fears. Let's not forget Chernobyl of 1986, and that's the people that got cancer. This actually is if something actually happens to Zaporizhzhia power station, that it could bring worse disaster than that of
what
Chernobyl
in 1986,
effectively making it leak and loom on national TV, coming after years of fierce debates. And
I'm gonna make this very brief.
Okay, because this is a shocker.
If it's a law, if they make it a law in their country, just that is justice for me.
It was India that was the biggest shocker of all, and then we had
allies of the Western world, everybody caving into the pressure of the LGBT. I'm hoping that I think one of the African countries recently also caved in and have allowed for gay marriages and all. I think South Africa is already on board. I'm just hoping that Africa.
South Africa is not Africa.
Yeah,
South Africa is Africa.
but this is Africa, So I'm hoping that the LGBT movement is strong and very, very strong, in pushing these things across the world.
And another thing I feel that I should also put out there is the fact that the government is saying that yes, and a woman.
What are they saying?
So you can have sex. You can have sex, but you can't marry.
What they mean is you can just become what you want to become, but it's not going to be an institution in the country.
Really?
So the gay relationship is allowed,
but not marriage.
You can be gay, but you cannot get married.
How does that make any sense?
Okay, it's all right.
It makes sense.
I think DME himself is trying to make it make sense. But I'm with you, DME. I am with you.
No, it's like
you can have a relationship, but you can't marry.
It's this. You can allow to kill people, but
what we're just saying is that you have a country who knows that it doesn't make sense to do that, but let's just satisfy our allies.
Let's leave it for Singapore.
It's okay. Let them sort it out.
Thank you for joining us this morning. It's a pleasure to have you. And Fuad, it's okay. I don't think anybody wants to have any remedy from you. But I also need to also say thank you very much to our audio and visuals department. Thank you very much. They've been doing a great job with YouTube and Facebook. Stay with us. Don't go anywhere. You're on to Mainland 98.3 FM.